What's going on, Geeks and Gamers? This is Ryan with Arcade Outpost and geeksandgamers.com, and if you are a fan of Star Wars video games, if you have been disappointed with nearly 8 years of EA's exclusive deal to make Star Wars games, then we have some good news for you, because it is over, ladies and gentlemen. Lucasfilm Games, newly branded Lucasfilm Games, has announced that they are developing an open world game with Ubisoft, and that is just the beginning. You can see from this tweet, after almost 8 years of exclusivity with EA, Lucasfilm Games will be joining forces with Ubisoft to create an open world Star Wars game. And that's just the beginning. Now, I made a video on this channel yesterday when we got the announcement that Bethesda was developing, well, Machine Games for Bethesda was developing an Indiana Jones game in partnership with Lucasfilm Games. I asked the question then, what does this mean? This Lucasfilm Games, what does this mean for Star Wars? Because for almost 8 years, EA has had exclusive publishing rights to Star Wars games. Well, that's about to end, and we have several things to talk about here, guys. We have an official announcement from Lucasfilm put out on StarWars.com, but like I said, this all started with the announcement of Lucasfilm Games 2 days ago. People are wondering, what does this mean? Are they getting back to their LucasArts roots, where they're basically just gonna be working with all these different developers when they put out these Star Wars games? That's what we saw for so long in the golden era of Star Wars video games in the 90s. Look at all of these games that were made under LucasArts. The early 2000s, the golden age of Star Wars games, when they went out to all these different developers and they said, hey, you make great MMOs. You make great RPGs. Can you do this? You make great FPSs. Can you do this? You make great tactical shooters. Can you do this? And you had games for anybody. Any type of game experience you wanted, you had that in Star Wars. Were there some bad games? There sure were, but there were a hell of a lot more good games than we have been getting from EA over the past 7 to 8 years. Since EA has had this license, all we've got is 2 Battlefront games that were bad. We've got Star Wars Squadrons, which is a $40. It's not even really a full AAA experience. And you've had Jedi Fallen Order, the only one that's really been well received all around. But now it seems the future is very bright, and the first thing we heard about was this open worlds game. So before we talk about everything else, let's just talk about what we do know about this Ubisoft game. Ubisoft Massive teams up with Lucasfilm Games to work on a new Star Wars project. Now, I've heard a lot of people's responses, oh, Ubisoft isn't any better than EA. That's not even really the point of this. The bigger picture that I see is the fact that they're going to be reaching out to a bunch of different people to make a bunch of different Star Wars games. And in a blog that we'll talk about in a little bit, they confirm that they will be doing exactly that. So even if you don't like Ubisoft, the idea that they are going to be branching out from EA is a good thing. Lucasfilm Games has not answered whether the EA exclusivity deal still stands. Well, we're going to talk about that because I kind of think that they have. Yves Guillemot and Kathleen Kennedy on the Star Wars collaboration. This is huge, especially considering EA was said to keep the license exclusively till 2023. Now, this is the co-founder and CEO of Ubisoft. The Star Wars galaxy is an amazing source of motivation for our teams to innovate and push the boundaries of our medium. Building new worlds, characters, and stories that will become lasting parts of the Star Wars lore is an incredible opportunity for us, and we are excited to have our Ubisoft Massive Studio working closely with Lucasfilm Games to create an original Star Wars adventure that is different from anything that has ever been done before. Now, Massive is the studio that makes the Division games, so I would anticipate, and the couple people that have reached out to me are basically saying, imagine Division but Star Wars. A simple looter shooter in an open world that is Star Wars. What will the story be? No one has any idea. Not yet, at least. We've got people talking about it, but no one really has any idea. This snuck up on everyone, and it was a surprise announcement to everyone. You have Kathleen Kennedy with some words here, too, as if she knows anything about video games. As we look forward to the next 50 years of Lucasfilm, we look forward to continuing the wonderful legacy in games, which has introduced so many memorable characters and stories. And that is 100% true. Some of my best Star Wars experiences have been in Star Wars games. Star Wars Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, KOTOR, KOTOR 2. Like, these are incredible stories. Force Unleashed for so many people is up there. You know, these are incredible stories that were all told through a video game, and they leave a lasting impression on so many Star Wars fans. These new collaborations will allow the Lucasfilm Games team to pursue fresh and exciting directions in the storytelling of Star Wars and Indiana Jones in imaginative and different ways than those explored by our films. And then lastly, really the only details that they showed here, Julian Garetti, I don't know how to pronounce that name, from The Division 2 will be the creative director, will be based in the Snowdrop engine, very early in development, and it is, not possibly, it is open world. And how do we know that? Because now we got an official blog post from Lucasfilm, and it's right here. Lucasfilm Games hints light speed towards the future. Douglas Riley, VP of Lucasfilm Games, talks to StarWars.com about the just announced story-driven open-world Star Wars game from Ubisoft and much more. We've got a lot of stuff we're ready to start sharing with fans. Lucasfilm Games, Douglas Riley tells Star Wars, because we've been working quietly behind the scenes for a while now, waiting for this moment. And by this moment, Riley's referring to a new direction and era for Star Wars and Lucasfilm gaming, as Lucasfilm Games is now opening the doors to developers that want to come play in a galaxy far, far away. Developers, right? Not just Ubisoft, not just EA, all sorts of developers. Look at this quote here, tells me they're trying to get back to that LucasArts of old. We're looking to work with the best in-class teams that can make great games across all of our IP. We've got a team of professionals here at Lucasfilm Games who can work with the developers, shape the stories, shape the creative, shape the games to make them really resonate with fans and deliver across the breadth of platforms, genres, and experiences so all our fans can enjoy the IPs they know and love. This is what so many people have been saying for so long. EA has not done what they should have been doing with this game, right? You need Star Wars games in every facet. You need all these popular types and styles of games to have basically Star Wars mirrors that make sense in the universe to tell this story. Now, do I really think that the story group at Lucasfilm, Disney Star Wars, is going to be up to the task? Do I think these people are going to be able to keep continuity straight, tell stories that really make sense? Do I know if they're going to be pushed and filled with identity politics? Who knows at this point? We all have our assumptions. But putting all of that aside, the idea that they are doing this, reaching out to all these different developers to make all these different types of games, is a step in the right direction, to be sure. Case in point, the huge news that Lucasfilm Games and Ubisoft are collaborating on a new story-driven open-world Star Wars game. It's a genre long requested by fans that will come to life via massive entertainment, Ubisoft's critically acclaimed studio based in Sweden. And he says all the same things you would expect. We're really excited to work with them. I'm a huge fan of them, and we're going to have a good time together. As for fans of modern Star Wars games, fear not, some old friends are sticking around. And that was what everyone was asking. Does this mean the end for EA, period? No, it does not. And in fact, EA put out a statement. We love Star Wars. We look forward to continuing our partnership with Lucasfilm Games. We're making more Star Wars games, and BD1 is still the cutest. And that's exactly what they echo here. Continuing the relationship that resulted in the reinvigorated Battlefront series, the critically acclaimed Fallen Order, and multiplayer hit Star Wars Squadrons, EA will too play a big role in the future of Star Wars. We're proud of the games we've created with EA. We will continue working with them, and our relationship has never been stronger. I don't know about that. While we may not have a lot of details to share at the moment, we've got a number of projects underway with the talented teams at EA. To me, this is just the beginning. I would anticipate hearing, over the next several weeks, hearing a ton of different projects in development. The rumor mill is going to go crazy. Who knows if we'll be able to sort fact from fiction. But for right now, it looks like the EA exclusivity deal is absolutely over. And keep in mind that was for publishing only. So it may still continue until 2023. But after 2023, anyone else is going to be able to publish. I don't know. We don't have an exact answer to that. But definitely, these games are in development at companies that are not EA. And they will not be published through EA. To me, I think it's a good thing for fans of Star Wars video games. That doesn't guarantee that any of these will be good. However, the fact that they're opening it up to a different range, different types of games, that is what Star Wars games have needed. That is what Lucasfilm Games should be about. And it looks like that's the direction it's headed. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.